blacklist?
Well, I don't think there ever really was a Hollywood blacklist per se. There was during the McCarthy era, but it was a kind of a manufactured tabloidy news story that those who dissented in Hollywood would be punished for their opinions. That wasn't really true. It was just like, it sort of was this, like I said, manufactured story. But, you know, no one's ever seemed to have a problem on the Republican side with Sonny Bono or Shirley Temple Black or Fred Grandy or Ronald Reagan. It just seems that it's an easier target to make fun of actors who have political opinions if they seem to be on the left or progressive or liberal.
When you became so public in your views, were there professional ramifications for you? I mean, besides being forced against your will to sit across a desk from Tucker Carlson?
I actually did not mind sitting across the desk from Tucker Carlson. And I've seen him without his bow tie, by the way, in PS. But the only ramifications were like the kind of bigoted right-wing assaults and pretend anger, partisan anger that came from some like right-wing radio people, or, you know, the pretend anger from guys like Scarborough and nonsense like that. And then there was, you know, case-by-case parts maybe if somebody didn't want to book me to do stand-up because they didn't share my political views, which is certainly their prerogative to do so. But there was no blacklist per se. That's just a story to frighten people and intimidate them from speaking out.
Now, you may have just answered my question by discussing their prerogative not to book you, but is anything over the line in terms of a response? If Johnny Depp says, as he's quoted in a German magazine, the U.S. is dumb, something like a dumb puppy that has big teeth, what's an appropriate response by people who disagree with him? I mean, don't go to his movies, write internet articles calling for other people not to go to his movies, or, you know, decide that Pirates of the Caribbean stinks? Where is the line in terms of response?
Well, the line was crossed. There has been so many inappropriate responses to dissent, which is the most patriotic thing you could do, and the First Amendment guarantees everyone's right to speak out. The pillorying that was endured by the Dixie Chicks and Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins and now Johnny Depp is absurd, and again it's promulgated by the kind of Archie Bunker mentality that dominates the right wing of the Republican Party and also right wing radio, and some of the faux populist right wing cable news shows. Like Joe Scarborough, for example, pretends that he's real upset about this Johnny Depp thing. It's not news, and it's not particularly intellectual, and it's there's nobody that's really upset about it. Johnny Depp has every right to say whatever he wants, and that's a very rather moderate thing to say about the puppy. There is global distaste for the Bush Doctrine, and there is a lot of domestic distaste for the Bush Doctrine, for that matter. And nobody ever had a problem with bashing the Clintons, which was like a national pastime. So this pretend partisan pseudo-patriotism is inappropriate, and people call it a backlash, but it's not. It was an attack, what happened to the Dixie Chicks, and it is, like I said, it's very Archie Bunker, anti-intellectual, unfair way to treat dissent.
Let me get back to California for a final topic, Janeane. Why does a Schwarzenegger run instead of, say, Martin Sheen? It seems to me, from sort of a neutral point of view, that conservative performers who get interested in political issues on a serious level run for office, and liberal ones tend to hold back and not run for office. Is that
I don't know if that's true or not true. I would say that unfortunately the word liberal has been redefined over the last 30 years as if it's a bad thing. But liberalism is a great American philosophy. Being a liberal is one of the best things you can be. I don't think they get a fair shake at all in the conservative mainstream media. So maybe there's some intimidation there. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm sure, was picked. No, the Republicans know they can't win California unless they have somebody that's like a huge action hero. I'm sure there's a sort of a Karl Rovian hand in this for this recall, which is completely manufactured by the right. Darrell Issa, another crier, by the way. And then the third crier is the guy who cried after the Democrats were going to be arrested in the library over some redistricting issue, I think in Texas. So there's been three criers, which I think is fine. But I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is a very calculated thing. And I think that, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was meeting for some reason with Ken Lay during the energy crisis, and he's met with Karl Rove and other Republican strategists and operatives. So I think that he's been encouraged to run in this terrible recall, because I think the Republicans know they can't win California without someone like him.
All right, so we're in favor of celebrities talking or public figures talking about politics if they want to.
I'm in favor of any citizen talking if they want to.
And people criticizing the celebrities if they want to, and also crying in politics.
Well, crying is always good, and if you can combine all three, I think that's the ideal thing. If you can cry while blacklisting a celebrity, you're golden. I think.
Janeane Garofalo, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Keith.
And good luck, especially if you wind up working at CNN again.